music. You know what I mean? That's very important. Like you, my sister, you know that. That's right. And so my friend today decided to come out. Let's give it up for Miss Dawn Tallman in the house, y'all. Make some noise for Dawn Tallman. What's up, Dawn? How you doing, girl? All right. You know, Dawn is known for being blessed with some amazing vocals. However we like it, you know she brings it. Gospel house, gospel house. Your vocals has been compared to such greats like Olita Adams, my favorite, Miss Shaka Khan, and many, many more. But what I didn't know that you toured with some favorite female legends of mine, like Stephanie Mills and Patti LaBelle. Tell us about that, Dawn.
That was in my early days. Been on the road. When I was doing a lot of R&B, I was on the road with Dave Hollister for a few years. Did the Patti LaBelle tour, the Casey Jojo tour. Was on tour with Stephanie Mills and Shelby from Destiny's Child. And I mean, so I did a few more people, but that's just to name a few. So I've not just been in the house scene. I've been doing all things. Did that just rhyme? Okay, all right, I like that. Yeah. So I mean, listen. I paid my dues to where I'm at now, so I deserve everything I get and more.
That's right. Amen. Do you still get nervous before performance?
Sometimes I do, but that's when I have to center myself and say, Lord, take over, and just let him go ahead. And that's why when y'all see me and I black out, it ain't about me no more. I don't even know what happens. People tell me, oh, you said such and such. Okay, well, thank you, but I don't, you know. So, but I do get nervous depending on the video.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. What some things you do to calm the nerves down a little bit? Because before this show, I'm gonna tell you I was a nervous wreck. I couldn't think of nothing to do. No drink can help me. What do you do?
Pray.
All right.
It really only takes that one person to believe. You know. It takes one person. Like, this is what I want to tell, especially artists that are out there. You may get 1,000 no's that you can guess, but it definitely takes just that one person to say, you know what, I believe in you no matter what. Let's do this thing, no matter if it ain't making money or not or whatever. It's about the love. We're going to do this and we're going to build until something happens. And that's what him and I have done. We're building, and things are happening. And I ain't mad at all. So shout out to Slag Daddy, a.k.a. Glenn Thornton. Come on through.
All right, Mr. Glenn Thornton. We got Glenn Thornton in the house. Welcome, Mr. Glenn Thornton. How are you, babe?
Pleasure to be here.
What you guys gonna say again?
I said it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Well, what I know about Glenn is one of the most serious man when it comes to talking about music. But when it comes to talking about this next topic that I want to go into with you, Glenn, is going to get even deeper. He's a very warm person, a person that will get you drunk at the bar. He's my friend, and it's my pleasure to have him here this evening. Glenn, what I didn't know about you is that me and you have something in common. And, you know, it's something very dear to me. You know, I lost my father to HIV/AIDS. And it was so horrible for me to stand by and watch it happening to him, because for so many years I never knew my father. You know, he shot dope in his arm, so I was so distant from him. And I'm not afraid to say it because this is the house of raw vocals right here. And so I was so distant from him. And when I finally got a chance to know who my father was, he was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, and I couldn't handle it. It broke me down so bad that I started blaming him. I wasn't educated to what I should do. I started shying away, and I didn't know how to handle it. What did you do?
Well, my father contracted HIV from a blood transfusion from a quadruple heart bypass here in Newark and Beth Israel. Yeah, Beth Israel was many years ago, like a couple of decades. But it was in the earlier days of AIDS when they were not testing the blood. So they test the blood now for the most part. I even read somewhere recently that someone got a kidney transplant and still, you know,
just recently,
it slips through every once in a while.
Right.
So, you know, I grew up with my father. It was my mother, father, and I. So I knew him all the way through. And I remember him getting sick from having issues with his heart, issues with blood pressure, and he had the quadruple bypass. And from the quadruple bypass, that's where he became HIV positive. Of course, nobody really figured out that he was HIV positive. They thought it was complications to the heart, quadruple bypass, or he also had seizures, so we thought the possibility of that. And then it went on and on for several years, and I wasn't living there, but with my mother living there, it was hard for her to deal with it because she didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on until finally, through him having, probably at that point being full-blown AIDS, where it was a mess.
Wow.
I'm not going to get into all, you know, into a little detail, but it was a mess, you know. And I'm sure a lot of people watching this, a lot of people in this room know when you're full-blown AIDS and it becomes a mess. And he died in, I think it was 97. So we're talking about like 95, 96. Back then, full-blown AIDS was a mess, way beyond the scope of what full-blown AIDS is now.
Yes, it was.
You know, we've got, between all of the research, medicine, geniuses who have worked on this for years, AIDS, well, HIV is almost like diabetes, where it is a manageable disease. Not to say that it's as easy as diabetes, but then again, diabetes ain't easy either.
That's right.
So it's now somewhat manageable, but back then it was just a friggin' mess.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Thank you for sharing that.
I'll tell you more, but I'm gonna let you talk to me. I'll just babble on.
No, you can go ahead and babble, baby. This is why we're here. You can babble on with that. You know, and to touch on what you said, it's bigger than most people have a perception that HIV is just with gay. You gotta be gay or you gotta be a drug addict. Look what happened to Glenn's father, an innocent man going in for a blood transfusion. So do you guys see the seriousness of this disease? And I really appreciate all of you coming out tonight. And please, I must say, make a small donation for this foundation so that we can help whatever it is we can do. If it's $1, if it's $10, make a small donation is greatly appreciated. I not only lost my father to HIV, after my father left me, then my aunt left me from HIV. And after my aunt left me, my cousin left me of HIV. And it goes on, and then it's my friends, and it's loved ones, and it's nothing we can really do. And so whatever it is that you can do, make that difference. Do something, that's all that I ask.